Okay, after much stopping and starting, because I apparently can't remember how to film a video or speak English, I am doing a video that isn't a witch casket video for a change, because I used to, like, my channel started with videos about tarot and oracle decks, which I am going to make one of those as well. It might come up before this one on the channel or after. Either way, it will turn up. But I'm starting filming the book video first, and I don't really put book videos up very often, or I might put a video up where I've bought decks and books at the same time. There are books that I bought last year I haven't read yet, and I'm still buying books in between, although I've now banned myself again. I'm on a current ban from buying decks and books drive, but this was a pre-order, so that's my excuse. So we're going to start with a book. I haven't started reading it. I've just had a quick look at a couple of paragraphs. Cindy Brannan's Entering Hecate's Cauldron, Spells, Spirits, Rites and Rituals. Cindy, what is this? Amy Blackthorne, author of Blackthorne's book of Sacred Plant Magic, says Cindy Brannan brings a grounded and complete understanding of Hecate and witchcraft, as has rarely been seen before. Her joy and her craft shine with every word. A comprehensive overview of modern Hecate and witchcraft. Entering Hecate's Cauldron is about doing witchcraft, specifically witchery centered on the beloved goddess Hecate, with her etheric cauldron as the source. Excuse me. This book is for anyone interested in deepening their spiritual journey as a witch. Entering Hecate's Cauldron completes Cindy Brannan's trilogy, which includes the Hecate's Garden and the Hecate's Cave books, which I have both of, which may be read in any order, which is always good. Like, if you don't want to read them in order, that's great. I do also have Keeping Her Keys, which is also by Cindy Brannan. Written in style of traditional Book of Shadows, the contents cover many of the common practices of modern witchcraft, ranging from personal development to spells, rites, and rituals, beginning with foundational practices such as setting up an altar and connecting to a spirit guide. The book then offers instructions for understanding and honouring Hecate, featuring a deep dive into correspondences. It includes a guide to spellcrafting, as well as a section on the mysteries, including ritual spirits and the Wheel of the Year. So you could pause to read all that as well. Like I said, I do have the garden book, and underneath this is the cave. And I found the garden pretty decent. Excuse any road sounds that you can hear. I live by a road. The garden book was pretty decent. I do have Keeping Her Keys as well, and I do like Cindy Brannan's books. It kind of tends more to be on the side of the New Ageier, modern witchcraft side to Hecate than the traditional, but she does talk about traditional stuff too, so there is that. So that one I've just got. This one I've had since it came out, which I can't remember when that was, but it wasn't this year. This came out early last year, I think, and I got it then, but I never started. Well, I kind of started reading it, but then I got sidetracked by other books. This is the Hecate's Cave, The Journey Through Darkness to Wholeness. It's kind of shadow worky. I'm not going to read the blurbs there from other people. I'll read what it's about. To the ancients, the goddess Hecate symbolized the inner journey back to the soul. Philosophers identified her as Anima Mundi, the soul of the world. As such, she connects many archetypes associated with the cycle of life, death, and rebirth. From her role as protector of roadways to her power as the bringer of death, she offers us keys for healing. Incorporating her own personal experiences with those of her students, Cindy Branham weaves a supporting circle around the reader as they start the path towards soulful living, culminating in rebirth, blending symbolism, transcendent experiences, dreams, and natural magic with sound, psychological theories, and practices. Entering Hecate's cave is an in-depth spiritual journey through the truths and traumas of one's past to a rebirth and renewal of personal wholeness. I should just... I'm not starting again. Like the amount I've already started this video. If you want to see the chapters, I'll probably talk more about it when I've actually read it. But this one I'm reading already. I am on chapter 4. So in this one we have the introduction called The Call, Animal Mundi, The Deeper World, Cleese, The Keys, Triformis, The Transformation. Excuse me if I've mispronounced any of these words. Dracaena, The Awakening, Enodia, The Crossroads, Propilia, The Threshold, Cathonia, The Descent, Lampadios, The Illumination, Borbora Forba, that is a hell of a word, The Catharsis, Scotia, The Darkness, Pionios, The Healer, Psychopomp, The Soul Guide, Rixipile, The Chainbreaker, Anassa and Eroi, The Death Queen, and Kor, The Reborn. So this I haven't totally figured out yet, but I am working my way through it. So this one I've also had since it came out, and I'm in the first, the introduction bit, maybe, because we've got, I'm in the first chapter. So we've got the introduction, the otherworld, king of fairies, denizens of the otherworld, goblins, ghouls, and phantom fairies, gods and spirits of the land, fairy flora and fauna, fairies and magic, and conclusion. Guide to Welsh pronunciation. I find it interesting when I read books by people who aren't Welsh, and I'm not talking about Mara because she's obviously very Welsh, but I've read books by people who aren't Welsh who tell me how to pronounce words from the place where I live and I was raised, and it's a bit annoying because obviously there are different dialects in Wales. People don't realise that. People obviously think everybody speaks exactly the same without any differentiation, can't speak, of word and dialect. But it's the same with England. People think everyone just speaks straightforward English, but words up north will be different to some of the words used down south, and the same as Scotland and Ireland. People. But obviously Mara Starling was born in Anglesey, I believe, and raised there. I really like Mara Starling. I find her content hilarious and informative. And I have her Welsh Witchcraft book, and I have read that and I really enjoyed it. Then I bought this when it came out. I know she's got a Pagan Paul's book that's come out, but I haven't bought it yet. Either that or it's coming out. This one, I got it as soon as... I wrapped it up for Christmas. Did I say that in this video? Sometimes I'll order things and wrap them up for myself for Christmas because they're my treats. Especially with books when I've got a lot of books that I'm reading at the time. So I wrapped it up for Christmas, and then I just haven't really got that far into it since then. So this is, because I've finished 3 books now, this is now back on my I'm definitely reading this at the moment list. And I shall tell you what it says. Unveil the mysterious world of Welsh fairies. Join Welsh native Mara Starling on a captivating journey through the realm of the fair folk. Together you will trace the threads of fairy lore from ancient Welsh literature like the Mabinogion to Mara's own contemporary experiences. Delve into the depths of Annwfn, the otherworld, the ethereal home where the Fae reside, and meet Gwyn ap Nudd, the legendary king of fairies. Explore the enchanting variety of Welsh magical beings, including lake maidens, spectral lights, goblins, and mermaids. Discover the connection between magical practitioners and the Tylwyth Teg, the fair family, and how you can, if you choose, incorporate these liminal entities into your own spiritual practice. More than a collection of stories, the Guide to a Celtic Fairy Tradition offers practical insight and engaging exercises for those who wish to interact directly with the denizens of the otherworld. And there is a little picture of Mara, probably pretending to be a denizen of the underworld. I really like Mara Starling. So this book I have had even longer than that one. I got this when it came out and promptly didn't read any of it. The thing is that I've already read most of this in PDF form, but I wanted the physical version, which I do like to have physical copies of books because they smell nice. This is the point, and he's brought out another book since, which I haven't bought yet, which I might get myself for Christmas, but this is the Poison Path Herbal, Baneful Herbs, Medicinal Nightshades, and Ritual Entheogens by Kobe Michael. So, again, I'm leaving out these bits, I'm just reading this chunk here. Part grimoire and part herbal formulary, this guide to the poisonous path of occult herbalism shares history, lore, and information regarding the use of poisonous, consciousness-altering, and magical plants. Author Kobe Michael explains how, despite their poisonous nature, baneful herbs can become powerful plant allies, offering potent medicine, magical wisdom, and access to the spirit realm. Detailing the spiritual, alchemical, astrological, and symbolic associations of each plant, the author explores their magical uses in spells and rituals. He focuses primarily on the nightshade family, or Solanaceae, such as mandrake, henbane, and thorn apple, but also explores plants from other families such as wolfsbane, hemlock, and hellebore. He also examines plants in the witch's pharmacopoeia that are safer to work with and just as chemically active, such as wormwood, mugwort, and yarrow. The author shares rituals suited to the individual nature and powers of each plant and explains how to extract and work with plant spirit familiars. He offers plant alchemy methods for crafting spagyric tinctures and magical techniques to facilitate working with these plants as allies and teachers. He shares magical recipes featuring the plants, including a modern witch's flying ointment. He also explores safely cultivating baneful herbs in a poison garden. So that is good. If anything, like even if you're not really interested in these kind of herbs, some of them do grow wild and you'll know what to look out for and not to touch. But yeah, I got this ages ago. And so we've got what is the poison path, basic knowledge, brief history of baneful herbs, the witch's flying ointment, 3 ways of the poison path crossroads, the book of Saturn, the book of Venus, the book of Mercury, other magical plants, in practice walking the crooked path, and the other garden. Walking the Crooked Path makes me think of Keldon's book, which I was rereading, and then I was like, oh, I can't reread this now. I'm reading so many books. Okay, so The Witch's Path, I've got breaking it, by Fawn Mooney. I have read half of this in the past in PDF form. And, oh, by the way, this, I haven't just like destroyed a tarot deck. This, it came with a deck I bought off Oneness Emporium because she usually slots in a couple of cards there, and I use it as a bookmark. So for this one, I did read her, I'm not Wiccan, but I did read her traditional Wicca book. So get unstuck, find inspiration, and take the next step on your path. The Witch's Path is all about raising your witchcraft practice to the next level, whether you are a beginner who feels overwhelmed, a disillusioned adept, a jaded coven leader, or anyone in between. This book shares specific hands-on tips for what you can do to move forward spiritually today, no matter what your starting point. Join Fawn Mooney on an exploration of the most common themes practitioners need to look into when they're feeling stagnant or stuck. Sacred space, devotion, ritual and magic, personal practice and community. Every chapter features 4 separate exercises designed for 4 different types of readers, so you can come back to this book as you grow and discover fresh techniques and activities. The Witch's Path helps renew your sense of engagement with the craft so you can continue evolving your spirit, your practice and yourself. So that is this book, and I have read at least a chapter, I think. So in here we have what exactly is witchcraft, sacred space, devotion, ritual and magic, personal practice, study, community and challenges. This book, I remember when I was reading part of it, it's kind of like if you get a bit stuck, it like tells you to go back to basics, and I've been told that when I asked on Half Witches Live, like, what do you do when you feel a bit stuck? Because when you're under a lot of emotional stress and physical stress, it can get kind of like you're knackered, basically, and that's why I thought I would buy this and reread it, but in physical form, so I can pick it up and put it down. And like, I like physical books. Did I say that already? So this I got for that, and it does have some good ideas in it, like from what I remember as the first chapter. So that is why I'm reading this. Hopefully I will have read all these books by the end of the year. This one is more like a novel, but it isn't. It's like someone's, it's not a how-to book, it's somebody's how they do it book. And it's called A Spell in the Wild, A Year and 6 Centuries of Magic. Perhaps you are a witch, perhaps you aren't sure yet. Come and bring yourself into the wild. You already have everything you could need, and all the world is waiting. In A Spell in the Wild, Alice Tarbuck explores what it means to be a witch today. Where witch was once a dangerous and often deadly accusation, it is now a proud self-definition, and as the world becomes ever more complicated, and we face ecological, political, social and global health crisis, witchcraft is experiencing a resurgence. Alice describes what she practices as intersectional, accessible witchcraft. It's about the magic you can find in an overgrown snicket or a 6th floor stairwell. Whatever your gender, whether you're able to climb a mountain or can't leave the house, month by month, Alice walks us through everyday magic for extraordinary times. Which is why I got it, because it's someone else's experience with witchcraft, which is a nice thing to read about, especially when they're not pushing an agenda, they're just telling you how they do things and why they do things, and that to me is a lot nicer. Especially seeing as, like, not that I'm, like, dumping on Wiccans, but most witchcraft books today have an emphasis on Wicca. Even if they don't say they do, you can tell when you're reading it. Unless you're out and out, flat out new to witchcraft. So it's nice to have a book where the person, I'm pretty sure she isn't Wiccan, so she's just telling you how she does things. And this is what she does at this time. It goes by month, basically, from September, I think. And, like, she says what she does every month and whether she celebrates certain things or not. And, you know, all through that process. And that is what I really like. It's not saying you have to do this, you have to own that, blah, 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 blah. It's, this is how I do things. You could do it that way if you want to, but you can find your own way. And I like that. I like that a lot. So that is what I am reading. And I don't know which order I'm going to put the videos up in, but I'm going to make a video about decks next. So thank you for actually listening to me talk about what I'm reading.